Welcome, curious minds, to a world of knowledge and discovery. Hello, YouTube friends. Join us as we unravel the mysteries surrounding quote scheme. In algebraic geometry, the quote scheme is a scheme parametrizing sheaves on a projective scheme. More specifically, if X is a projective scheme over a Noetherian scheme south, and if Fahrenheit is a coherent sheaf on X, then there is a scheme quote fax whose set of t-points quote fert more street. Quote fax is the set of isomorphism classes of the quotients of f street that are flat over T. The notion was introduced by Alexander Grothendieck. It is typically used to construct another scheme parametrizing geometric objects that are of interest, such as a Hilbert scheme. In fact, taking Fahrenheit to be the structure sheaf X gives a Hilbert scheme. Get ready for a captivating exploration as we unravel the layers of definition and their profound significance. For a scheme of finite type XS over a Noetherian base scheme S and a coherent sheaf cohax, there is a functor. X's subsets. Sending TS to a mathcal quote, a mathcal xisert, baft a mathcal. Beginnatrix a mathcal fintex hix t a mathcal for text finitely presented over x t a text a mathcal for text is proper over t a mathcal text is flat over t mathcal to mathcal text surjective endomatrix irisum, where xtx street and tx under the projection per x xtx there is an equivalence relation given by q if there is an isomorphism commuting with the two projections q, that is, a begin matrix a mathcal t a right arrow a mathcal down arrow and down arrow a mathcal t a right arrow a mathcal endomatrix is a commutative diagram for a mathcal tx right arrow a mathcal t. Alternatively, there is an equivalent condition of holding crick. This is called the quote functor, which has a natural stratification into a disjoint union of subfunctors, each of which is represented by a projective S scheme called the quote scheme associated to a Hilbert polynomial. As we enter this new phase, let's navigate the complexities of Hilbert polynomial and discover its practical applications. For a relatively very ample line bundle Pix and any closed point SS, there is a function, sending. Upstoche mathcal some ein textum a cabasai mathcal show times mathcal also times m, which is a polynomial for m0. This is called the Hilbert polynomial, which gives a natural stratification of the quote functor. Again, for fixed there is a disjoint union of subfunctors. Xis, where xis but xassert. The Hilbert polynomial is the Hilbert polynomial of T for closed points tt. Note the Hilbert polynomial is independent of the choice of very ample line bundle. In this part of the video, we'll be delving deeper into Grothendieck's existence theorem and analyzing its key components. It is a theorem of Grothendieck's that the functors xis are all representable by projective schemes quote xis over south. Brace yourself for a captivating discussion on Grossmannian as we explore its nuances and implications. The Grossmannian K of k-planes in an n-dimensional vector space has a universal quotient kk, where x is the k-plane represented by x k. Since is locally free and at every point it represents a k-plane, it has the constant Hilbert polynomial k. This shows k represents the quote functor. K K. Now, it's time to shift gears and explore projective space. As a special case, we can construct the project space as the quote scheme xis X for a sheaf on an S scheme X. Without further ado, let's move on to the topic of Hilbert scheme. The Hilbert scheme is a special example of the quote scheme. Notice a subscheme X can be given as a projection xz. And a flat family of such projections parametrized by a scheme T can be given by xt. Since there is a Hilbert polynomial associated to z, denoted z, there is an isomorphism of schemes. Quote xtxis z hilbxis z. As we venture forward, let's examine example of a parametrization in detail and gain a deeper appreciation for its significance. If X can and S spec for an algebraically closed field, then a non-zero section S has vanishing locuses with Hilbert polynomial. Phi zer lambda a binum a lambdan binum and doi lambdan. Then there is a surjection, Z, with kernel D. Since S was an arbitrary non-zero section, and the vanishing locus of a S for a K gives the same vanishing locus, the scheme Quot gives a natural parametrization of all such sections. There is a sheaf on XQ such that for any Q, there is an associated subgem ZX and surjection Z. This construction represents the quote functor, Ernspect Z. As we enter this new chapter, let's navigate the complexities of quatrix in the projective plane and unravel its multifaceted nature. If X and S, the Hilbert polynomial is a beginnerline phase a lambda binum to a lambda a frac lambda plus a frac lambda a frac lambda plus a frac lambda a frac lambda plus 1 endline, and quote a spec 1. The universal quotient over is given by, with a fiber over point quote a spec 1 gives the projective morphism, Z. For example, if represents the coefficients of FA as AI is Oz, then the universal quotient over gives the short exact sequence. A tomorpholo right arithmarkalo tomorpholosto. Let's now turn our attention to semistable vector bundles on a curve and uncover the fascinating insights it brings to the table. Semistable vector bundles on a curve Celsius of genus G can equivalently be described as locally free sheaves of finite rank. Such locally free sheaves of rank n and degree d have the properties 1. 0, 2 is generated by global sections. For D1, this implies there is a surjection, CCN. Then, the quote scheme scene parametrize all such surjections. Using the Grothendieck-Riemann-Roch theorem, the dimension north is equal to G. For a fixed line bundle of degree 1 there is a twisting M, shifting the degree by n, so G, giving the Hilbert polynomial G. Then, the locus of semi-stable vector bundles is contained in scene, which can be used to construct the moduli spacecan D of semistable vector bundles using a GIT quotient. I appreciate your time and I'm grateful for every like, comment, and share.